Dagoth welcomes you, Nerevar. Today we are going over the Skyrim faction's tier list. Yes, I remember making something similar before, but it was not exactly a tier list, so this list will honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned. Such a grand and intoxicating innocence. Do you think Skyrim factions are interesting? I mean, some of them are, but I've always found them to be a little lackluster, to be honest with you, Nerevar. I mean, the first time around in vanilla Skyrim, they seem fun, and you don't pay much mind to their flaws, but after the third playthrough, the issues are glaring. Let's start off sort of strong with the Dawnguard. They are basically vigilants of Stendarr on steroids. They are absolutely fanatical and are very keen on stopping the vampire menace. Isran basically thinks of himself as a main anime character that is hell-bent on one single goal in life, which is to eradicate all the vampires of Tamriel. I mean, seriously, all this guy talks about is how bad vampires are and 300 ways of getting rid of them. B tier faction overall, though. Next is the Thieves Guild. This bunch lives in the Ratway in Riften, which is a pain to get through every single time you want to join them. Sure, a shortcut opens up, but I really do not enjoy the Ratway anymore. As if that was not enough, you also have to deal with Mercer Frey and his antics throughout the quest line. I mean, Karliah is a Dunmer, so that's a plus, but her character is boring. Then there's the whole skeleton key dilemma that I am not going to go into at all because it seems to cause arguments in the comments. I mean, all things considered, the quest line is kind of long and some of its quests are fun when you get to sneak around your opponents. They claim not to be the Dark Brotherhood, but surprisingly, the amount of collateral damage that comes with their quest line surpasses the Brotherhood by a lot. C-tier faction.
Matt Pat here, and have you ever thought about why Skyrim factions are the way they are? You see, in Morrowind, there was an ability for you to create spells, which was later incorporated into Oblivion, but for some reason, that ability is absent from Skyrim, and this brings us back to the College of Winterhold. Ouch!
Sorry about that, I have destroyed him. College of Winterhold is a blatant Harry Potter ripoff. It is one of those low-quality crossovers that you could find on fanfiction.net back in the day. You have your Chamber of Secrets with the Augur of Dunlin. You have your Dunmer Archmage that ends up meeting his end in the same way as Dumbledore, with everyone gathering around him. Ancano is basically Snape. Also, it claims to be a college, but you really don't learn much during your time there. Toldfur just teaches one class on creating wards and whatnot, but that's about it. D tier, unfortunately. Next are the mongrel dogs of the Empire, the Imperial Legion. I have to give it to them that General Tullius is quite the genius when it comes to playing both the Thalmor and Ulfric. He might seem to be working with the Thalmor on the surface level, but the situation is much more complicated than you might believe. Tullius might not be a fan of the Thalmor, but what about the other generals within the Empire? Overall, though, the Empire needs to go one way or the other. My goal was to drive the mongrel dogs of the Empire out, so I am not exactly opposed to them being destroyed. Also, the Civil War mechanics were utter trash. Nerevar. You only have 2 major battles, and the rest of them is just storming some fort. Also, what absolutely grinds my gears is that the audacity of the Imperial Legion when they offer you to join them right after Alduin accidentally saves you from the ye old chop-chop. Seriously, I understand the mental gymnastics behind joining the Legion. But weren't you the least bit annoyed that the Empire wanted to discard you? D-tier behavior. Next is the Companions, otherwise known as that generic warrior faction with some interesting plot points. They are very big on their werewolf business. Overall, I have nothing too negative to say about them. They are a generic adventurer faction that you can find in any fantasy game, show, movie, or anime even. It is kind of wholesome to a degree. I still don't understand how lycanthropy works for farm tools. I mean, imagine a lizard and a cat, growing wolf hair and getting wolf features. Uncle Crassius should write The Lusty Argonian Werewolf Maid as the next installment of his book. I am giving them A tier for Aella the Huntress, if you know what I mean. What can I say about the Stormcloaks, Nerevar? Their goals align with mine, and I am basically championing the same ideas as them in Morrowind as they are in Skyrim. However, unlike that simpleton Ulfric, I am a god. How can you compare a god to this barbarian? They don't like anyone but themselves, and also they mistreat my fellow Dunmer on a daily basis. Call me a hypocrite, but I still do not appreciate how that Rolf Stonefist guy in Windhelm treats us. Once again, the mechanics of the Civil War are infuriating. I just install mods to improve them, otherwise it just looks like a street brawl. Also, Ulfric is a Thalmor asset, allegedly. I don't care at this point, Nerevar. Also, what does Ulfric hope to achieve even if he is not a Thalmor asset? After annihilating half of Skyrim, he won't stand a chance against the might of the Aldmeri Dominion. The Stormcloak armor is much worse than the one worn by the mongrel dogs of the Empire. They belong in the D tier with the rest of these uninspiring Enois. The Bard College only gives you one fetch quest that results in almost absolutely nothing. They stage a concert while burning an effigy of my hopes and dreams of ever becoming a bard in Skyrim. Many games have a lute-playing feature, but the one in Skyrim was added only by mods. I am very disappointed if this is the state of higher education in Skyrim. But, the beautiful architecture, the fantastic music they produce, the aesthetic of the instruments gathered within the college is quite alluring. I enjoy the decor of the plants within the college, and honestly, the dungeon crawling experience given by Bard College is quite good for a level 1 character. So I will give them a generous C tier. Ha ha ha, just kidding. You really expect me to give the worst Skyrim faction a C tier? Get a life. The Dark Brotherhood, otherwise known as Astrid's Twitch subscribers, are a mess when you first start out working with them. Astrid has taken over the whole family and is basically the evil stepmother from Rapunzel. You go on generic contracts working with her and Nazir. Some of these contracts are fun when you play through them the first 5 times, but later you realize they are not exactly creative. Astrid wants to be in charge, even when the real Night Mother comes back from her long trip to the store to buy some milk. The real fun begins when Cicero betrays the Brotherhood, and the quests become more complex. Unfortunately, they only fall to the tail end of the quest line. Also, they make you spend money on useless improvements once you complete the quest. If each and every quest for the Dark Brotherhood were crafted with the same effort as the last few quests, it would have been a truly S-tier faction, like in Oblivion. You could cooperate with the mongrel dogs of the Empire and try to destroy them. That's an option. This faction has the most interesting characters in the game, if I am honest. B tier, though.
Contract tier list, anyone? I'll narrate it.
Finally we have reached the end. Let's end this video with Castle Voikar, led by one of the dumbest characters in Skyrim. He is the vampire that wants to put an end to the tyranny of the sun, and as a result, destroy all life on Nirn as we know it. Also, the man is hated by his wife and his daughter to such an extent that Serana is willing to cooperate with the Dawnguard. D tier only. And this concludes all the major factions in Skyrim tier list. We truly honored the 6th House and the Tribe Unmourned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord server for more Dagoth and other Elder Scrolls content.